Don't blink, you should blink. Welcome to the show. Because I'm doing well, because I'm having a wonderful day on this 6th August 2025. I love saying August. Today, we're doing a video on sleep. Now, before we start, I'm not a sleep expert. I'm not a sleep doctor. Doctor Sleep by Stephen King was a great movie, though. And I'm possibly the last person to tell you about sleep. The reason why I'm making this video is because yesterday I had a lot to do, and I couldn't sleep because I was nervous about what I had to do. And then I went to my parents' house, and we ate there, and it was fun. Also, we had some fun. I was in a good mood, and then this sugar rush from the coffee, the cafe, kind of died down. And I'm talking to this girl, and I'm falling asleep. Look at this migration. You don't see that, right? It was too. The phone was too low, but then they say it, so at least we got it. And I'm falling asleep, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna sleep. Then I have a busy day. I don't have videos to upload. So what I do is I upload a couple of videos. They take me 2 hours and 22 minutes. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then when it's time for the alarm to ring, because I have a lot to do. See, I don't have the luxury of sleeping when I want, but I have things to do when I can't, and I cannot sleep. So then I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired. Let's click on restart. So instead of putting an alarm, I put a timer, which I prefer. People say that you need 8 hours of sleep. I'm gonna give myself 8 hours or 5 because I'm gonna sleep in, you know. And then I woke up at 2 o'clock. No, I woke up 3 hours after. Possibly 2 o'clock because we only sleep for an hour and a half. And I feel good. I'm in a good mood. I'm okay. And weirdly speaking, I'm a person that when I have a hard time waking up. Once I'm up, I don't go down, but I have a hard time going up. And I'm like, dude, this sleep was so nice. And then the second question that I'm asking myself is, if I only slept for an hour and a half, would I be okay? Now the answer is no. I would have not been okay. I would have not been okay at all. So the cool thing that happened was I started asking myself, like, when was the last time that you napped? And I couldn't remember. Right? Sleep has always been a problem in my life. I was asleep. I started very young. You think ADHD, but no, it was the medication. The medication created insomnia. At a very young age, I would sleep 5 or 6 hours a day. Now, this is the craziest thing. When I was a kid, my father. This is always about sleep. My sleep history, and then about sleep, how I put in sleep, and how I should sleep more. My father, when I was a kid, I was possibly 6 or 7, and he was like, "You can go sleep at 7:30 p.m." And all my friends at school, they were sleeping at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That really seemed very, very late. And I was waking up early. I was waking up at 5 o'clock. I was the first one to go because my father was starting work at 6 o'clock. And the kindergarten wasn't opening before 6. So he would be late every single day, you know? And then I would sleep a lot. But then the problem is, at 7:30, I kept it for years. I was 14 years old and I was still sleeping at 7:30. Right? And then it became 10. And it became 9, and then it became 10. Which was great. It was just weird. But I remember being like 10 or 12 in my room, but I needed to sleep and I couldn't sleep. That my father did the worst thing ever. He did the worst thing ever. I was afraid of my father, so I didn't say no to him. He cut my freaking binders. You know when you put the cover for the windows, They call it the binders, no? What do you guys call it? I don't know. And he put them, and he cut them. So now the sun was going to my room, and the sun was going to my room, and it was like the sun was going down at 9:30, 10 o'clock. So for 2 hours, I'm in my bed, doing nothing, just thinking. Now later on, what I started doing was, I started getting a book. I started just taking time for myself. And I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to sleep, but f sleep, you know. Yeah, I told myself I wasn't gonna swear today. So we're making it a valiant and a cautious effort. Then the next big step into sleeping was the apartment. I didn't have time to sleep. I didn't have a schedule to sleep. I told you guys before, when I went to the apartment, I didn't have cable. I didn't have anything. So the first thing I started listening to was movies, of course. But then I start listening to radio, a shit ton, and radio in itself wasn't the best form of media. However, it was the only form of media that I had. So I didn't mind getting up at 12 or 13. So what I started doing was I started to build my sleep schedule around it. So for example, I like this show a lot. It's starting at this time. I don't like this show. It's starting at this time. So during the show that I didn't like, I would sleep, which is the craziest thing I've ever done. Because for like a year and a half, I was sleeping 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the afternoon. By the way, the sun is rising. So this is awesome. This is awesome. Because if I wasn't sleeping, I would be waking up right now. If I was sleeping, because of the sun, right? So it's an amazing time. And I remember being very fond of it. And then the weekend, I would do whatever I need. Then my father discovered something called antenna. Antenna, now I have a lot of choices. I have 10, 12 channels of TVs. And I got shows that at this time. And I'm having a lot of fun. Right? Yada yada, I start having a job. I'm needing to sleep for the job. I wake up always last second, so today, well, no, the last year, when I stopped working to make content, but once again, I was in charge of my sleep schedule. I want to sleep during the day, I could sleep during the day. I want to sleep during the night, I would sleep during the night. I was in charge, you know? And it became quite addictive. It became quite addictive in a sense of, dude, I get to sleep how much I want. But then again, just like today, I have to be awake for two things. I have to be awake for the sunrise and the sunset. I have to be awake for the governmental meeting. I have to be awake to see my parents. I have to be awake to do my groceries. So it doesn't really work like that because everybody has a daytime schedule, right? And to this day, I don't think I've ever stopped doing what I want to. Or I don't think I ever establish a clear sleep schedule. And when I do, I always wake up for something. Like, for example, for the last year and a half, when I wake up, okay, what time I have? Okay, what can I do? I want to film some videos. I don't have time for charging the phone. No? Okay. Let's do some TikTok live. Let's go on a bike ride. Right? It's very, very odd. Because I'm kind of like in this prison of I have a schedule to do. But the schedule is self-imposed. Right? And I've never put sleep in front of everything else, right? And yesterday was kind of like a wake-up call. Wake-up call, sleep videos. It was kind of like a wake-up call in a sense of I got a lot to do, but I'm still going to find the time to sleep, right? There's time where I'm literally streaming and I'm falling asleep, but I don't want to fall asleep because, like, no, I have to wake up in like an hour to film video for this, right? What I do, I go with energy drinks. That's not healthy. I have never put sleep before. And we just did a video on when we celebrating 700 followers, which is going to be another weight loss journey. And I think sleep is going to be something big. I think You see, also the thing that's gonna happen is, I'll be completely honest, it's gonna be a shitty answer, but I'm still gonna say it. Um, During the summer, how I wake up is really important, right? Let's say in the winter I'm doing a class, right? And the class is at night or during the day, whatever. During the winter, it doesn't matter if I wake up at X amount of time. It doesn't matter when I wake up. All that matters is that I'm up or working, right? Because right now the problem is, this is kind of an important problem. I gotta film outside from 9 o'clock, from 8 o'clock to around 2 o'clock. I can film inside, but I'm gonna be stuck in the winter, the whole freaking 4 months, 5 months inside. So why? Because the sun will be shining through the balcony, and you cannot see anything. So at first I was like, okay, well, I don't need that time. That time is restricted. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sleep during those hours. That way we can do other things. For example, um, there's nothing I could do. It's not a problem of what I can do, what I couldn't do. It's a problem that, do I want to be awake and do X, Y, Z? I want to stay awake and just be able to do X. You understand? So it's kind of different. It's kind of different. But I have to admit that I have been neglecting sleep a lot, and as I get older, my body is not following. My body is getting tired. Really like an old man right now, and it bothers me because I never had a. My body is accustomed to low sleep. There's this guy that I really respect. GSP, George St. Pierre, and he had a lot of mental problem, and because he has a lot of mental problem, he used to sleep 5 hours a night, and then when he took his retirement from UFC, he started to sleep 7 hours, 8 hours, and it's like, no, most of the nights I wake up after 6. I'm not tired anymore. I have to accustom my body to have a better sleep health. I think I've been neglecting sleep. You see, when you look at the healthcare application, what they all have in common? Calories ate, exercise done, sleep. Sleep is important, and there's a reason why we sleep through our life, right? It's not. I've always seen sleep as something I had to do, so I want to do. Something that, okay, well, I have a lot to do, but I have to sleep. So that's the first thing I'm going to sacrifice is sleep when it comes to schedule. You know? But with the last night, I kind of realized that if you're well rested, you're more productive. Being more productive is a amazing thing. You should consider that. They don't. So here we are rocking like a hurricane. Anyway, good night. Sleep well. Sleep tight on the double bites.